Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Harrison, and today I'd like to speak to you about my 5 books. Through the grace of God, I've written 7 books, but today I'd only like to speak to you about the first 5. But before I'd do that, I'd first like to give you a short introduction to my life. I submitted my life to the Lord when I was 17 years old, and I've been serving Him ever since. I grew up in a home where my dad served the Lord. He tried his best to bring me up in the fear of the Lord and in righteousness, but I chose to walk a different path, and I went through a very rebellious, stubborn and disobedient stage in my adolescence. And at the age of 17 I got involved with the wrong friends. Some of them were involved in Satanism and I never knew it. And one Saturday evening we were out and we were having fun and doing all worldly things, smoking and drinking and living rebellious lives. And the next day I was sitting in church, and the pastor of my congregation at that time, he was busy preaching, and all of a sudden he stopped like maybe halfway through his preach, and he looked at me and he called me to the front of the church. And I was very surprised. He said, "Young man, come to the front." And I went to the front and I was looking at him, and he said to me, "Young man, you must repent and you must submit your life to God and fix up your heart, because the devil is going to cut your life, and you must let go of your worldly ways and your worldly friends." And this news really startled me, and I became fearful, and I was really embarrassed, because everyone in the church at that time, there might have been 100, 120 people in the church, they all knew I'm such a bad guy. And so I repented, but I never made a full commitment to the Lord. And that pastor was transferred to another assembly, and another pastor came in his place 3 months later, and he prophesied the same words to me. And I realized that day that God is being serious, and that He's not joking around, and that He's not a God that plays games with anyone. And so I prayed with an elderly man in the church, which is now my mentor. His name is Brother George Kevin Weber. And he got from the Lord as well that I must fix up my heart, or else I'll stand before God's throne one day, before His judgment throne, and give an account for what I've done. And at that moment something marvelous occurred. I saw a vision for the first time. Now some of you might have seen visions before, but to see it for the first time is a wonderful experience. It's like you see something for a very short time, and I saw myself standing before the throne of God in heaven. I couldn't see God's face. His whole face was lit up with light. And I then realized, hey, this is God. And I was shocked. And surrounding God's throne were angels, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of angels. And I was really shocked. And I could see myself standing before God's throne all alone. And God said to me, "Young man, give an account for your life." And I was speechless. I had nothing to say. And after the vision had ended, I was looking at this elderly man and just staring at him. He obviously didn't realize what was taking place at that moment with me. And then I told him, no, I'd submit my life entirely to the Lord. And the Lord blessed me with a wonderful gift, and that is to write Christian poetry.